years of abuse due to missing and destroying paperwork, I have only one perpetrator who has been sentenced. He was sentenced to 9 years in 2018. By 2020, he was allowed to go in open prison. He did just 2.5 years in a closed prison. Licence conditions were granted that he must not come into Rotherham again. Just 8 months after, he was just half a mile away from my home. He is recalled. This week, after a paper-based parole hearing, I was given the news that parole was denied and open prison conditions was denied. The summary was something that has made me feel quite upset this week. After the last 18 months of fighting to get him back in prison and being told you have to base things on facts and the label of me being emotionally unstable, my point was proven. I would just like to read you the risk assessment. Having considered the details and the circumstances of the index offences, as well as all the other evidence before it, the panel identified a number of risk factors, things that made it more likely that Mr Boston would reoffend. These risk factors had included offending for sexual gratification, a sexual interest in young teenagers, feeling entitled to sex associated with others who shared his interests, and having a lack of victim empathy. I wanted to share it so people have an insight about how the system doesn't work. This man was let out on automatic release with the full knowledge that he was likely to reoffend again. He was left for 8 months to potentially reoffend against children. This isn't justice, this is covering up crimes against children. I just want to say a huge thank you to every single person stood here today. Today you took part in making a stand for the children of this country. We also gave a little bit of hope to every single survivor of this country that their voice will still keep being heard.
Ladies and gentlemen, without people like Elizabeth doing what she just did, I won't be having a national inquiry, I'm telling you that now. Please give her a massive round of applause. Right. Most of the time, people hear the word grooming or grooming gang, and they may well associate it with the grooming towns, and be that what people sometimes describe whether it's Asian, Pakistani. Not all groomers are Asian or Pakistani. Let's have it straight, the Catholic Church, the Church of England, they've all been guilty of it over the years. Yeah, so let's not just sit here and call one thing out, because all these people over the years have been guilty of doing this. Yeah? And yeah, don't pigeonhole it, call it. Yeah? So when you think of grooming, and you think of grooming gangs, they're not all like that. Sometimes it might be that little nice man that you've known for years and years and years, and you've let him look after your kids, yeah? And you think, what a lovely man, and the whole community likes him. The next speaker that I'm going to invite up to speak to you is going to tell you a story about this. Her child was abused, she killed the perpetrator, and she went to prison for it. Ladies and gentlemen, this lady is next up, is going to talk to you also about a campaign that we want you all to get behind. So please give it up, yeah? Sarah Sands, please, ladies and gentlemen. Sarah's going to come out here and talk to you. Give her a round of applause, please. That's very brave. Very, very brave.
I don't know how much anybody knows about Della awareness to it. For 20 years, those in authority have known about a loophole that has left our children vulnerable and unprotected. Due to the negligence in acting and finding a solution, children have been violated and murdered. Families continue to be ripped apart. It has taken an incredibly courageous woman to stand up and draw close to her those that will not back down or be swayed under big words and complicated legislations. Della, who could not be here today, has been campaigning, fighting and gathering evidence for over 7 years to protect our children. Della has gained the support of MPs, multiple organisations and thousands of people. Della's law is now on its second reading in Parliament under the Crime Policing Bill. I have come here today as one of those families torn apart by this loophole, and my children were amongst the children that had been affected by this loophole. That should have been closed 20 years ago when they found out Ian Huntley had changed his name to get that job as a caretaker in a primary school. In 2014, I was arrested for murder. Our lives already torn apart by the actions of one man who had changed his name after 30 years of abusing children to evade exposure due to changing his name and getting a clean DBS check. In these terrifying cases, both Claire's law and Sarah's law are not fully protecting us. Parliament knows it, the authorities know it, and they have known it for over 20 years. I wanted to be here today as a reminder that as the proposed legislation is going back and forth in Parliament, that they remember we are real people with real traumas due to the authorities' neglect in closing this loophole. Della has wrote a book, Trapped, and it's on social media as Della's Law if anybody would like any more information. It is for us to remember the power we hold in our voices to make change, spread awareness, and to save our children.
Okay, we've got a couple more speakers, yeah? And at the moment, 1 second please, we've got... Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear from one more survivor here who's got another story to tell and has got another campaign for you to get behind. It's really important to get behind these campaigns. What she just said there about Ian Huntley, yeah? The fact that he was able to do that. After 20 years and 30 years, these people are able to change their names and all of a sudden they lose their criminal record, yeah? We need to be on this and make sure these people do this. Yeah? Right, then next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear from another young survivor here who's going to tell you a story. Please give a massive reception for Kira, please.
Hello. Bear with me because I'm a bit nervous and it's my first time. Thank you all for being here today, standing with us and lending your voice. Of course, that is too often silent. My name is Kira and I'm a survivor of sexual abuse, but I'm more than just a survivor. I'm a person who's finding my strength, my voice, and my path to healing. At 16 years old, I just finished school and was groomed by my local shopkeeper who was 55, Harry Shankar. With the support and encouragement of my friends and family, I pressed charges and went to court. This was a long and hard journey that went on for 5 years. Adjourned twice, I gave up so many times, and we finally made it to court in 2023 for the trial. Me and my friends were cross-examined for a whole day and made to feel like we were the criminals, only for Harry Shankar to accept a lesser charge of paying for sexual activities from a 16-year-old. Instead of taking the stand, he took the easier way out. His original charges were 2 sexual assaults and 2 sexual penetrations, and then he accepted the plea for sexual acts of a 16-year-old. I was completely destroyed all over again and made to feel like I consented and was accepting the payment for this. So far from the truth. Harry Shankar was also subject to immigration and did not have the right to remain in the UK. He should have been granted this, but after he pleaded guilty to the lesser charge, he was also granted the right to remain in the country. A failure from our home service. I'm still fighting this today after finding information that he is still committing offences and breaching his sexual harm prevention order. I reached out to Gurmit Singh, and from this came my documentary, Kira's Justice. If you haven't seen it, please watch, and you'll hear all about my story. I'm on YouTube, X and Twitter. This is something that I'm still living every day. My perpetrator is back in court next week for breaching his order, and let's just hope justice is finally done. I'm here because this can happen to anybody. It's not about what you look like or how you act. These people prey on the vulnerable, and I'm lucky to have the support to fight this because many other people haven't. For many years, I felt the weight of silence, carried the shame, the fear, the doubt, and all the confusion. It isn't easy, but I've learned something important. Nobody should have to carry the burden of abuse alone. No one should have to be able to feel ashamed of something that wasn't done to them. This is why I'm standing here today, and why I've created Kira's Voice for Change, number 4, just to let you know. Because I don't want survivors to know that they're not alone and their voice does matter. I want to say this clearly, there is no shame in speaking out, there is no shame in telling the truth, and no shame in seeking help. There's no shame in asking for support. This shame belongs to those who commit these unspeakable acts, not to those who have been harmed. And together, we can break the silence that has allowed abuse to continue for too long. Kira's Voice for Change is more than my story. It's a platform where we can amplify the survivors, where we can create a community that uplifts, supports and empowers one another. I believe that by sharing our stories, we make it harder for the darkness of abuse to thrive. We shed the light on truth. We bring hope to others that are still suffering in silence. And I want to actually make a change, first by spreading awareness, and then I want to find a meaningful change. And I've decided the only way that we can do that is to change the law in England to ensure that perpetrators of a child's sexual abuse cannot accept a lesser plea deal and dismiss the impact of their crimes. The petition has been submitted. Please keep an eye out on our social media for that. When it's live, please get behind it. If you are here today, if you are listening, and to the messages on social media, I want you to know your story does matter, and no matter how long it takes to find the courage to speak, people are here who will listen, support you, and who will stand by you as you begin your journey towards healing. Let today be a reminder for us all, we are not alone, we are powerful, we are brave together, and we can make this world a safer place for children. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I invite Phil Hickey. Please give this man a round of applause. The amount of work he does, unbelievable. Phil's going to read something out to you. Give it up for Phil Hickey.
It's just a short statement that I want to read out. Yeah. Although we welcome the news of a full inquiry into the epidemic of child grooming rape gangs, let's not let ourselves be distracted away from the fact that Tommy Robinson was incarcerated for an airing let's not get distracted away from the fact that Tommy Robinson was incarcerated for airing a documentary exposing the unbelievable case of Bailey McLaren, the 15-year-old Huddersfield schoolboy who had his life destroyed by a total media lie. We suggest everyone here today should watch the documentary Silenced. If you haven't already had, and if you haven't already watched it, then please watch it. Make sure to share it to those who haven't. We demand a full investigation. Sorry. We demand a full investigation where all witnesses are allowed to speak freely and without fear of repercussions. A total exoneration and public apology for Tommy Robinson and Bailey McLaren. Tommy Robinson and Bailey McLaren, who, let's not forget, who is still in hiding purely because he defended his sister's threat of rape and violence. Let's listen while we're here. Let's forget this. He's not here today, Tommy. He was going to come, but he's not well at the moment. So I want to give everyone. Let's have a round of applause for Tommy Robinson.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just like to add a small bit to that. That man started campaigning, in 2009. Think about that, 2009. We've been doing it for a while, but that man's been doing it a hell of a lot longer. And I think we should all go out and thank him for what he's been doing for our children. And as Bill just told you, Tommy isn't well, and that's why he's not here today. But I'm now going to introduce a man who's been speaking all over the country for the last few years now, and is always very well received. He's a very good friend, Tommy Robinson. I'm going to give you up now. Daddy, come and have a word, mate. Give it up for Daddy, please.
Thank you. Thanks for everyone for coming, and let's have a big round of applause for everyone behind For the Children campaign in the building. For the stewards, for the security, because this wouldn't happen without them. So, there comes a time though when silence becomes complicity. Today isn't one of those days. No. Because today is the day that we tear off the mask and we show this country exactly what it has become. Let me make this clear. Our children weren't just failed. They were fed to the wolves and the government held the lead. Don't you dare let them say this is neglect. Because neglect is forgetting a birthday. Neglect is about missing a parents' evening. This is none of them. Because this was grooming. This was rape. This was the political protection of paedophile networks, and only now they were forced to admit it. Because Baroness Louise Casey, she's not one of ours, she's one of the Labour's own. She exposed the truth of what we have been saying for decades upon decades. The police officers have ignored the victims. Survivors were labelled as liars and slags. Gangs run wild under the nose of the state, and nobody did a thing. This wasn't just failure, this was a strategy. A strategy to keep the Muslim vote happy. A strategy to appease community leaders. A strategy to silence the working class while our daughters were dragged into hell. Where was Keir Starmer when the grooming gangs were being protected? He was the director of public prosecution after all. And he shut down the very first serious investigation. So no, like he claimed, he didn't stop it. He helped to bury it. He's a liar! And where were the Conservatives? They were too busy hosting iftars in Parliament and grovelling to hate preachers while our children were getting groomed. And what now? They're going to hand out medals and tell us that lessons have been learned? No, they haven't. So we are not talking anymore. We are going to be demanding justice. I have multiple demands over multiple places because I don't play policy games. And I'm here to draw a line in the sand. I demand a national criminal investigation into the political cover-ups of grooming gang, starting with Keir Starmer. Demand the prosecution of any MP, any police officer or social worker who facilitated abuse through silence. I demand grooming gang survivors receive state-funded trauma support, way above what they give the illegals and the asylum seekers. And I demand that public trials for the paedophile protection networks. Televised! Let the people see! And here's where I go further, because I demand the end of multiculturalism as a policy. It has failed. It has caused lies. It ends now. I would demand remigration of anyone who refuses to adopt British principles. I don't care where they came from. If they treat our daughters like me and our country with disrespect, they can leave. I demand the end of Islamic supremacy in British public life. I want Sharia, not to Saudi. Here, we demand the common law. Here, our women and children come first. You see, what's going to happen now is the left and all the mainstream medias, they're going to incorrectly call this hate speech. So they want to play that game with me. Okay, good. I'm going to play it. Because yes, I hate evil. I hate paedophiles. I hate cowards who trade girls for women. I hate lies disguised as tolerance. I hate the wolves in the suits. And I hate the silence in power. And if you don't hate these too, then you're part of the problem. So this will be a righteous hate. It's what built empires, and it's what defends the innocent. And to those over there watching in Parliament in Westminster, let me remind you this. You knew, and you let it happen anyway. And now the people know too! You let cities balls into gang control. You arrested the whistleblowers. You even jailed Tommy Robinson for exposing it, while the groomers and the rapists he named walk free! You let children bleed because their parents were the wrong kind of victim! And when they did come forward, you called them racist. You took away their voice. You destroyed any type of justice for them. And now they want to talk about healing. Okay? We will heal this country when the guilty are in prison and the people are back in charge. And God bless that one over there with the UKIP flag. That's who we need to get there. That's who's need to get there. And I will be standing for them. And I'm proud to be doing it. So let me just finally say a few things here, and I'm going to make it loud and clear because I am done being polite. I am done playing nice. And we are never, ever going to stop. Because we are the Britain they hope that died. We are the voice they tried to ban. And we are the judgment that they fear. And the reckoning that they deserve. We demand consequences. demand justice. And finally, we demand Britain back!
Gentlemen, give it up for Tony Boston! Ladies and gentlemen, we've got one last speaker here today. Now we've got a few thank yous and a few acknowledgements. Okay, but I'm going to ask Bean the Meadow to come up here with 2 children as well, first time on the stage. Yeah, they're going to have a chat with you. Come on. Come along, bring that on the stage, come on. Don't be shy, come on. Come out there, it's what this is about. Give these guys a round of applause.
Hey. Hi. They're not children. They're just young women. They're not just women. Young women. Women with a voice. Make some noise if you're a survivor. Yes. Make some noise if you know a survivor. I'm a survivor. And I'm an ambassador for the Enough to End Rape social deterrent campaign. My perpetrator is a 3-time convicted child sex offender, and he's back in the community for a 3rd time. He has an offending history spanning 5 decades, starting in 1983, where he pleaded guilty in a court of law and walked free. He is an associate of Jimmy Savile, and he's back in the community after a 3rd conviction. I am angry. Who is angry here? And I'm the kind of person who, whilst I'm passionate and angry and could kill him, I'm not going to, because here we are taking action and advocating and doing our activism. And I want to tell you about this really important social deterrent initiative that Enough has come up with. And that's not me, that's Katie and Tom, but they can't be here today, so I'm representing the Enough. What it is self-testing DNA rape kits. We want every family in the country to have one of these kits at home, next to their COVID kit, next to their pregnancy test kit, and whatever else you test for at home. And you, if you don't want to go to the police, we're not saying instead of, we're saying as an alternative to, because let's face it, the police actually haven't been very helpful to survivors, have they? So we've come up with our own plan. And this is to give the power and some control and the narrative back to the survivors. This is survivor-led social justice, social deterrent. It's a kit you can swap within 48 hours of being attacked or raped. You can send it in an envelope free post to the lab, and your perpetrator's DNA will be held on file forever. Yeah! So that when you're ready to go to the police, or if you want to, you can, because you've collected the data that has to be collected within 48 hours. And most women and girls who have been raped don't really acknowledge it until days later, so they've missed their important 48-hour window. That's why everyone needs one of these self-testing DNA rape kits. What do you think? Do you think this is a cool idea? Can you believe we haven't had something like this? Because this technology has been available since the 1960s. Who doesn't want this kit in the public space? I'll tell you who. It's a government that sanctions, it's state-sanctioned gaslighting of victims and survivors to shut us up, keep us quiet, keep us disempowered, so that they can perpetuate their own political agenda, whatever it is they want to do. And we're saying we're not having it no more. Everyone needs to get one of these kits. There's a QR code. Give one to your daughter, to your grandmother, to your aunt, your sister, and all you football fans, all you men, get a kit and give it to one of your loved ones. So that way, you are very much a part of the deterrence against rape and violence against women and girls in our community. Thank you so much.
I've got the glasses now. I'm sure. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Right, I'm going to start doing a few thank yous and a few acknowledgements. Over the course of the last 8 years, I'm talking about things for the football lads, what we're doing now, combined with for the children. A lot of people put feet on the ground, and a lot of people done things in the background. We had so many things, admins that worked with the FLA for years, monitoring all of the phone calls and the messages we get. Sometimes you do get lunatics coming up who are far right, unlike us lot. Yeah, we have people that stop all that coming through. We have all of the 8 years now. See all these people here in these yellow vests, yeah, and the visas and the guys who are around the back here. Can you give them a round of applause? Because they do this for nothing. The stewards, please give it up, please, for everyone here. They've been doing it for years. They don't get paid, unlike these people down the road who won't come. Do all these protests, the pro-pedophile ones, I call them. Yeah, on top of that, we've got a lot of other people behind the scenes. I'm going to ask some of them to get up so you can see some of these people are, because you don't see them. You won't see them like me in film today. They're all the people in the background who do so much work. Please come along. Give these people a round of applause because they work really hard. See these people down here. Phil, the SED boys, where's my SED boys? Give these guys, see these boys here, they come and do security for us. They've been doing it for years. Phil, Greg, every one of you, I salute every one of you. All these guys here, the media, the mainstream media don't cover this. These people here do. Yeah, and that's how people get to see it. And that's how, with the help of Elon Musk, Elon, salute you, mate. Give him a round of applause, I agree with that. I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this round the world because you played a part in all of this. We acknowledge you and thank you. These media boys here, the boys and girls that are here, all of you, we appreciate it. There's a few other people I'd like to thank. There's the guy behind there, Will, come out here, mate. Will does the sound for us. Where's Mark? Mark, there, mate. Mark, get yourself up here. See this lorry. It has Kit and Della inside, as well as having to get this in. Ladies and gentlemen, give Mark a round of applause, please. How would she be? There it is. Right. There's a few people, ladies and gentlemen, that aren't with us today, that started this journey with us. And so many to mention, but amongst Terry Houlihan, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Davis, you want to give it up for Terry Houlihan? Yeah? Another for that for Phil Wall, he was part of all this to start. Stevie Ross, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, good shout, Phil. Steve Ross, good man. There's a lot of others that aren't here anymore that started this journey. Let's not forget them. Okay, see these people here, right? Tony, Carl, Glenn, Greg, Phil, and Liam. Come on in, Liam. Liam films all this stuff for us. If you want to watch, catch up on this, Liam Downwind on YouTube. All these guys here, kind of what they do. Yeah, give them a round of applause because they cover these events. They ain't getting paid to come here. Like all these mainstream media people, they turn up here and they do a bit of good. I salute every one of you. Thank you very much. And lastly, but by no means least, I mean by no means least, yeah, every one of you people that's put feet on the ground for the last 8 years, yeah, they came to Cheltenham, they came to Rochdale, they came to London, oh, and then the background there. It's the sing. Hello? Give this man a round of applause. Can see the seats, by the way. Yes. How are you, mate? Thank you for coming. Yeah? The seats of Mohan Singh spoke on the 1st March. We did. Yeah. And I'm going to say it because I don't think people realise that the Sikh community, they were victimised. They were targeted as well by the grooming gangs. It wasn't just English kids, it isn't just English children now that they do it to. They do it to the Sikh community, and the Sikh community needs to stand with these people because they're good people. A round of applause, please, for the Sikhs. And another one that along the way they've come along and supported us many times. The Gurkhas, good people, the Gurkhas. They brought to this country. Let's hear it for the Gurkhas as well. Along the way, we've marched together many times and come with us many times, and I'd like to hear every one of you give a round of applause for the veterans of this country. It's wrong the way the veterans of this country are treated. 10,000 veterans sing up on the streets of the country they fought for every night. Yeah? It's not right the way we treat our veterans. It's a national disgrace. We need to call it out. Starmer, you need to sort this out. Our veterans are worth more than this, while you house other people that have never paid a penny in tax, never mind poor for this country. Let's hear it for the veterans. I'm going to pass you over to my mate Phil.
When we started, when we launched the For the Children campaign on the 22nd of March, we had some very brave people speak on the stage, survivors, right? And they've come on board with us and they're doing an amazing job researching stuff and just coming on board and helping us. These people, I want you all to give it up for the survivors, yeah? Because these are the people we're doing this for. They're the ones that matter, not me. Not Justin, these people, yeah? We're doing it for them, and they're doing it for themselves. They've been out there for years and years and years campaigning, yeah? Yeah, they are the heroes. They are the proper heroes. Not us, they are. Also, the For the Children campaign, we're trying to start groups in every area because we want to do a national day of action. So if any of you are interested in starting a group in your area, we've got one already around Portsmouth area, all around now. Please get in contact with us on our Facebook pages, just Together for the Children, and you know, because this day, National Day of Action, has to be big. It has to be at the same time in many areas up and down the country. Yeah. So if anyone is interested in doing that, get started a For the Children group in your own area. Please get in touch with us. Yeah. I'd also like to thank Jay Herndon for sponsoring us with the lorries and everything. These people do an amazing job and they sponsor us, so I'd like to thank them as well, yeah? And on top of it, you lot, amazing, absolutely amazing, yeah? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I've just been asked very quickly, Kira, you give it a shout again please, Kate, because this is important to get behind this campaign.
Please follow Kira's Voice #4 Change on social media.
There's a few other people I'd just like to thank. Karen, come here mate. This is Karen Reddington. There's so much behind the scenes as well. Yeah. And my wife, who I didn't even see today, I don't even know if she's here, I apologise. If she's here, she was up at 5 o'clock this morning making sandwiches for all these people. So Jenny, wherever you are, give a round of applause because I've only get out of the way. Okay, I don't know if I've left anyone out here, but going forwards, here's a little thing for you. Going forwards, we've got plans to take this to other towns and around the country. Yeah, so you'll be hearing about that. So follow the pages and you'll see what we're going to be doing because we're planning to do something in October. And there is a documentary for all you football lads. There's a documentary that documents our journey for the last 8 years, from 2017 to now, and we're for the children, yeah, combined, we all work together, yeah, it's all part of the same thing. It comes out on Saturday the 2nd of August, you'll be able to download it then, so you'll be able to buy it, and hopefully Elon Musk will share that for us, and we'll get our story out, because apparently we're all far right now. We'll show all these people what we do in the background and what we will be doing in years. Yeah? Lastly, I'll give every single one of you a round of applause. Thank you so much for coming today. You make us proud and you make this worthwhile. Thank you. Thank you very much. Every one of you, thank you very much. We're going to play you a song now, Karen.
Listen. The beers are on Justin in the pub up the top there, so we'll show you afterwards, yeah? All the beers on Justin, yeah? Thanks for coming, brilliant. I want you to listen to this song as well. This song was written for us.
Kids take lives like ravers take pills. Film it all for Instagram reels. Laugh and joke as young blood spills. Another boy soldier KIA, and the politicians seem MIA. County lines and postcode wars. It could happen to mine, it could happen to yours. For our sons and daughters it's now or never. We must act as one. We must come together. His laptop full of cruel intention showed remorse, a judge will mention. A sentence gifted in suspension. He works in education, saved by legislation. The laws are a joke and the system is broke. It all needs investigation. For our sons and daughters, for all girls and boys, we must make a stand. We must make some noise. It's not too late, but it's now or never. We must act as one. We must come together. Grooming gangs hunt girls 13. The police won't act on what they see. Things worse now than they've ever been. Our children need protection. Political correction. The sound of your name shapes the rules of the game. The working class, they seem fair game. For our sons and daughters, for all girls and boys, we must make a stand. We must make some noise. It's not too late, but it's now or never. We must act as one. We must come together.
Stop talking! Stop talking!
For our children we stand and we may fall. For our children we will risk it all. For our sons and daughters, for all girls and boys, we must make a stand. We must make some noise. It's not too late, but it's now or never. We must act as one. We must come together.
Right, well, get home safe and have a nice weekend. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
One, two, three. Kids, summer's a wanker. Kids, summer's a wanker. Kids, summer's a wanker. Kids, summer's a wanker. Sing it loud! Sing it fucking loud!
Take care, Lucy. See you later. I'm Paul. Nice to meet you, darling. See you later. Safe travels. Nice.